Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about the Java program for arranging the string in the alphabetical order. So we know that the application of alphabetical order, in our class we are having the name of the students in the ascending order, which is the alphabetical order. Let us see how the Java program works for that. So here this is the program. So as usual, this is the program which is going to use the scanner class in order to get the input. So it has to use this import java util.scanner. So as we have seen earlier, Java and util is the next subclass and scanner is the class where the scanner class will help to get the input from the keyboard. So now here next public class Java example. So Java example is the class name and this file should be saved using the name java example.java, and open the brace public static void main string args. This is the starting of the main statement in Java program, and then the open brace starts int count. Actually what we are going to do is we are going to get the number of strings in the, for example, the number of names in a class, and we are going to arrange it. Okay, that is the aim of this program. So this count is the variable name which helps to count the number of elements in the class. Now next, string temp. So temp is one particular variable which is used as a temporary variable in order to exchange the two different strings. Let us see the logic how this temp variable is used. And now scan is equal to new scanner of system.in. So this is the statement which creates a object called scan. As we have seen earlier, the class name space the next name is the object name. So scan is the object and it is the object of the class scanner. So and new is the function to create the object, and this is from the system.in. So we have system in and out, in for the input and out for the output. So from the system in class it is going to get the input through the scanner class on the object scan. Okay, so now here first initially we are just entering system.out.print, enter number of strings you would like to enter. This is the number of elements in the list. My example, you may give 10 or 20 or whatever the number of elements we need. And count is equal to scan.nextInt. So nextInt is the method which is applied on the object scan. Okay, and we know this dot is an member access operator. So here why we should convert, actually what this line does is it will convert the data in the scan into an integer variable, and it will keep on accepting the next int from the scan. Okay, so now that is assigned to the variable count. Now string str is equal to new string of count. So this is going to create an array of string object using the new operator, and the length is the count. What is the count? Is the number of elements. Maybe we are going to create a list of 10 elements or 20 elements or 100 elements, whatever the count we need. And scan2 is equal to new scanner of system.in, and we are creating a new object called scan2 for the scanner class using the new operator in order to get some other input. So we have created two classes, two objects here, scan and scan2 for the class scanner. Okay, so this is an example of saying that we can create more number of objects for a single class. So scan1 is one object and scan2 is the other object for which class? For the scanner class. Okay, now let us see how the program logic works. Now system.out.println, enter the strings one by one. Now the previous system.out.print, that is asking for the number of elements, and this is asking for the elements, real elements. For example, if I am typing the name of my class students, I have to type all the names one by one. That is the enter the strings one by one. So how it is done? We have seen that in order to do anything repeatedly, we have to use any looping statement. Now we are using the for loop, because we know the count of the variable. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than count I plus plus, open brace, string of I is equal to scan do dot next line. So next line is again a method which will get the input from the next consecutive lines. that means here we are going to type the string one by one. Okay, so the next line will have the next data, and it keeps on, this particular loop will keep on repeating for how many times? For the count times, maybe 10 or 20 or 100, how many count you give. So accordingly, this loop repeats from 0 to count, and it will get the data through the object scan2, and it is stored in the string I. What does it mean is, this for loop is creating an array of string, okay, and which is got from the scan2 object through the input what the user is giving. That means this string I got the input data to be arranged. For example, the class name of the student, the class name of the, or the student name of the class. Okay, now since you got the output, the purpose is over. We have to close the object. So how to close the object? The object dot close. We have created two objects now. Scan is one object and scan2 is the other object. You have to close the two objects. So scan dot close and scan do dot close. So why we are closing? Because we have got the input, the purpose is over. Now we are going to do the logic of arranging the strings between the elements. So how to arrange the elements? We'll always check for that. This is one of the normal method which is used for arranging the elements. Actually what it does is, it starts from the first element, second element, third, fourth, and so on. So it will first compare the first element and the second element. If it is in the order, it will leave. Otherwise what it will do, suppose if the highest number, for example, we are having a name Aparna, Kala, Geeta. Now here we can see that his Aparna is the first name, there is no problem, that is the first name of the list. And then when you say Kala and Geeta, so after G should come, after the only K should come in the alphabetical order. Okay, so G, H, I, J, K. So G should come and K should come next. So now in the first Aparna, when you are checking Aparna with Geeta or with Kala, the order is okay, but when you're comparing this Geeta and Kala, the order is not same, because Kala has come to first in the list and Geeta has come third in the list. Okay, so we have to change the value, that is, in order to arrange in the alphabetical order, Geeta should first come, then only Kala will come, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then H, I, J, K. So K is the last name in this three names. Okay, so in order to do this particular for loop is used. This is called as a nested for loop. One for loop is within the another for loop. This is called as a nested for loop. So what is the for loop syntax? For integer, initial condition, checking condition, increment. This will repeat the instruction given within the loop from starting to ending by the steps. Okay, so now this for int I is equal to 0, I less than count I plus plus. Then for int j is equal to I plus 1, j less than count j plus plus. So this loop will compare the first and the second, third, fourth, fifth and all the elements. Then when it comes in the order, it will go to the second element with the second, and so in the first loop repetition, one element will be in order. Then it will check for the second element. Likewise, it repeats on and on till all the elements got sorted. That means arranged. Okay, so that is done by if string dot I dot compare to. Here compare to one is one of the method which will compare this string with the other string. That means string of I with string of j. Actually that means first element and the second element, and then afterwards first and the third, first and the fourth. So likewise it will keep on checking all the elements from one end to the other end of the list. So that is done by this particular if statement. If string of I dot compare to string of j greater than 0. Actually what is greater than 0 is the difference is positive, means okay, greater than 0 means positive. If the difference is positive, means the element is not in the order. That means higher element is first, lower element is in second. So you have to exchange. So how to exchange? We are using the temporary variable. Okay, so this I can give an example of this. Suppose if you have two glasses, one contains milk and one contains water, and if you want exchange the container between milk and water. So we should change the tumbler containing milk into water and water into milk. In that sense, we cannot directly convert the tumblers. So what we have to do, we have to have an empty glass. That empty glass we will pour first the milk into the empty glass, and then we'll put the we'll pour the water into the milk glass, because now milk glass is empty because we have poured that milk into the empty glass, the temp glass. Okay, so now this is the triangular exchange where the two contents are exchanged. So this is the normal condition or normal operation used in exchanging the two data using the temp variable. Okay, and here this if loop starts here and it is closed here. Likewise, you have to close this for loop and the other for loop also. So we have to be careful that the open braces are closed properly. And then next one, we will see about the how now the strings are arranged in order. We are going to display the order on the screen. So how to display it? First, the message system.out.print strings in sorted order, that means strings in ascending order. Then this is the only the heading. Now we have to we have to print the values. So how to print? Again, this is an for loop is used. So whenever we need to do some repetitive task, we are using the loop. Here we are using the for loop. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than count minus 1. For example, if we have 5 elements, it is actually from 0 to 4. 10 means 0 to 9. So the for loop starts from 0 to count minus 1 and it repeats for I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that way it will print the first element, second element, third, fourth and fifth. So when all the elements are printed, when the for loop is exhausted, all elements will be printed on the screen. So that's all. Here we are closing the public static void main and we are closing the class model. So that's all. Let us see now how the output has come. So now here the first one, we execute this program, we have got the message on the screen like enter the number of strings you would like to enter. I have given as 5. So enter the strings one by one. I have given apple, orange, strawberry, pineapple and watermelon. Now this is not in order. Okay, so we can see that here the first element apple is in order, but this orange is not, that is other things are not in order. So how to change the order of this string is, it has to be exchanged. Okay, so here when I gave this input, it is naturally in order. It is apple, orange and then S, P and W. It is in order. So we have got the same output as the given order. Okay, suppose if you want to, if you are giving this in the mixed order, we can get the arranged order. Okay, so since I have given this the string in the order itself, without noticing it has happened, but if you change the order and give, it will again sort the elements in the given order. Okay, so that's all. So given element will be ordered. So this is the given element and this is the sorted element. So that's all. So this is how the program logic works in order to arrange the elements in the alphabetical order. And thanks.